Well, literally every day, hundreds of you reach out to us or just post on social media to point out things that you'd like to see improved here in Western New York. And the vast majority fall into 4 separate categories.
You'd like to improve our sports teams, pay less in taxes, have less severe winters, and fix up our roads. Well, tonight, we want to focus in on that last one, the condition of our infrastructure. Good evening, I'm Mary Alice Demler.
And hello again, everyone. I'm Scott Levin. Now, we have an election coming up this November with 2 candidates running for Erie County Executive this year. And the 2 candidates, they have different ideas on how to best improve our county roads.
Now, we know this is important to pretty much everyone, so we're devoting a good chunk of time here at 6 to look at the issue in depth. Here's Michael Wooten with this 2 on Your Side original.
From Zimmerman Road in Boston to the south, up to Inglewood Avenue in Tonawanda to the north. This summer, almost 60 miles of Erie County roads are under construction. Add in another 120 miles of so-called oil and chip to preserve the pavement. Then you have several bridges being replaced and work on countless culverts.
Erie County highway crews are busier this year than they've ever been before because we're spending more money on roads and bridges. If you take a look at the numbers, in 2016, total spending in the county for infrastructure was at about $26 million. That hit almost $30 million the next year. By 2018, spending topped $38 million. And this year, another increase. Road and bridge projects now totaling more than $41 million.
How do you grade roads and bridges in Erie County today?
I think we've done a very good job. We've done hundreds of miles of roads repair since I took office.
But Erie County maintains 2,400 lane miles, more than the states of Hawaii, Rhode Island, and Delaware. No doubt there are a lot of holes left to fill, a lot of roads to rebuild. Viewers have reached out to us, and they've certainly complained to the county.
And it is the one thing that I hear from residents over and over and over again is fix my road. My road is in terrible condition.
Lynn Dixon is making this an issue in her run against County Executive Mark Poloncarz.
How do you grade infrastructure in Erie County right now?
Well, I don't think we're doing a good job. And the thing is, we have the money to invest more, and we're not investing more.
If you're county executive a year from now, how much will you propose spending on roads next year?
Well, I think over the course of the next 4 years, we can make a huge infrastructure investment.
So if we're spending $40 million now, it should be $50 million? It should be $60 million?
It's yes and yes. This is up to Erie County government to take care of those roads that we own.
This year, spending is at $41 million. Should it be more?
Well, you have to prioritize. That's the only thing. I'm sure a lot of people will say, yeah, it could be more, but you also have to realize what can we get done in our season.
The county executive and his team say beyond money, they're limited by 3 things: the length of the paving season, the size of the highway department staff, and the number of private contractors bidding for projects. Because of those factors, he argues, you can only spend so much.
Why would it make any sense to say we're going to spend $65 million when we don't have the capability of doing it because we can't do it in-house and we can't hire enough contractors to get it done when we're talking about a short season?
Have we maxed out what can get done?
Yeah, we're getting to a point where we can't really spend that much more based on the seasons that we have.
Dixon doesn't buy that. She commits to doing a lot more construction. But where would she find the money?
We can do more borrowing, and we can, if the interest on it is $3 million a year, with the $130 million fund balance and with the $40+ million surplus that we had this year, we can pay off that interest. It doesn't make sense not to do it.
The other side of the aisle will say Lynn Dixon's campaigning on cutting taxes and spending more on infrastructure. How do you do both?
We have the money. We have it. We are taking money from you, and we are not putting it to work for you. We have a fund balance that we are sitting on. We have a record surplus.
The majority of that record surplus has to be set aside to pay bills to ECMC, but there was about $14 million left over, with the money going to other priorities, including the Albright Knox Art Gallery, the Botanical Gardens, and anti-poverty programs. In other words, the surplus has been spent. But Dixon says you've still got that big fund balance, the county's piggy bank. It's required to be at least 5% of the annual budget, so around $85 million. It's grown to $130 million.
Why we have so much over and above that I don't know why.
Poloncarz says that money needs to stay put if you want to keep a good credit rating and avoid something many people remember from more than a decade ago.
If you want to go back to the days of the red green fiscal crisis, then it sounds like my opponent is the person that you should be voting for. If you want strong, stable government with finances that are AA rated right now by the credit rating agencies, then you want more of the same of what I've done.
Dixon argues you can keep the county's finances healthy and fix more roads.
It has to be a priority for Erie County. It absolutely has to be. If you ignore it, or if you wait too many years to address a particular road, then it gets worse.
The road to November's election paved with two very different proposals, with voters ultimately deciding which route to take. I'm Michael Wooten, Channel 2 News.